Welcome to Insight Marketing Success, the podcast where marketing knowledge meets real-world experience, from vision to execution.
I had the pleasure to talk to you, Michael, but let's learn about you. Today we have Michael DeLeo. Tell us, who are you?
Thank you, Ricardo. First of all, it's great to be here. Thanks for having me as a guest. And I am someone who began my career actually in the advertising industry in New York in media planning, helping companies strategize around allocating their advertising resources to various mediums. This is in the late 90s, early 2000s, was a very different landscape at the time, but a lot of the same principles apply, of course. And through the course of my work in media planning, I was routinely meeting with sales representatives from various television networks. At the time was more so magazines, and newspapers were more prominent as well. They were looking to get us to spend money and direct our clients' advertising dollars to their particular mediums. And I quickly learned that while I enjoyed a lot about media planning, I really wanted to be more on the sales and business development side of the table. And I really never looked back in terms of my career, which has been the last 20 plus years in a range of sales roles across technology and market research, data, consulting service, and now my capacity in sales training, consulting, and coaching.
Awesome. Well, great background. So then, who's Aslan Training and Sales Org?
Yeah, so I'm with the founder and principal of Sales Org Solutions, and I am a value-added reseller partner of Aslan Sales Training. Aslan is a leading international sales training firm founded in 1996, based in the Atlanta area, with a presence and client base globally that works and focuses around training and developing both sales representatives as well as frontline sales managers to adopt the mindset and the skills to be more effective in their roles and increase sales performance.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Would you consider those are the main advantages of Aslan Training, or are there more advantages?
It's a great question. There's a lot of good companies providing sales training and coaching. It's a very fragmented industry at the moment, probably more so than ever before. And throughout my career, I've learned a lot from a wide variety of training programs. But really what sets Aslan apart, I think, is the focus and the combination of teaching the appropriate mindset as well as practical skills, and not just one or the other. It's not a rigid sales methodology. We talk about various stages of the sales process, how to be more effective in each of them, but it really starts with what we call being other-centered, placing customers first, and realizing that until someone's open to hearing your messaging and they're receptive to your message, it doesn't really matter how strong your value proposition is or how effective your marketing copywriting may be. It's important to first create a fertile environment and a receptive customer so you have the opportunity to collaboratively determine if your service or product can support them and help them in any way. So it really starts with that foundation of creating that environment and positive back and forth collaboration with customers as opposed to a purely push approach.
Awesome. So what's the biggest marketing accomplishment you have faced, and how do you solve it?
Yeah, so Aslan has a range of partners like myself globally that both sell and facilitate the service. And me being relatively new to the business over the last couple of years, I really had to focus on developing a personal branding campaign. And as someone who's not naturally inclined to seek the spotlight or attention, it was a bit different for me. But I learned that I had an opportunity to help a lot of people across a wide variety of companies, industries, and roles. But I had a challenge of building my personal awareness. Aslan was very established, respected. As I said, there's a lot of companies. It's a very crowded marketplace, a lot of companies doing sales training and coaching. And I had to not only promote Aslan, but myself. And I thought about how I could approach that. And it really has involved a lot of different vehicles to help build my personal brand in terms of my social media approach, marketing campaigns, getting involved with business organizations like the local Chamber of Commerce in Boston, where I'm based, doing webinars, really kind of a multi-channel approach, and also providing value content in as many interactions as possible. And I'm also a contributing writer at a magazine called Revenue Magazine, designed to help advise and provide best practice insights to sales and marketing leaders. And that's helped me gain exposure. But the content I produce for the magazine also is value add in itself. So I can promote myself through that vehicle while providing actionable insights to the readers of the magazine, both my content and other content provided by my peers at the organization.
Wonderful. How has your marketing approach changed now with the new technologies, for example, AI? And I know that you are a one-man show marketing yourself, but are you using AI or are you excited about any new technology in this realm?
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's really twofold, both for helping me be more effective in marketing, but also helping our customers be more successful. And what I mean by that is, I think it's a crowded marketing environment right now. It's more important to create differentiation with relevant and personalized messaging. And AI has really helped me and all marketers conduct research on companies and industries at scale in a much more efficient and effective way. So it's been very helpful from a timing standpoint and also helping me understand what's most important to my clients and prospects to create effective messaging around that. Also, on the delivery side, at Aslan, we've developed some interactive AI-based software that allows our clients to develop personalized and impactful coaching through an AI-powered software tool. So a lot of times we'll deliver customized, tailored programs, either on site or remotely. And then we work to reinforce the learnings with our clients. And we've been leveraging AI to help them do that. And additionally, it's really more important, I think, to have consistent messaging across various marketing channels and really having integration between marketing and sales. A lot of times, even companies I work with, one hand does not know what the other is doing, and they're kind of presenting mixed messages to the marketplace. I think it's very important to have unified communication strategy, sharing of information, and leveraging technology to ensure that sales, marketing, customer success, account management all know what's happening at their customer accounts and collaborate not only for their own purposes, but to better serve their customers.
Consistency, yeah. All right, can you share a campaign that really moved the needle for your brand and what is that made it successful?
Yeah, absolutely. Around the idea of integrated marketing and consistent marketing, as I mentioned, I'm also a writer for Revenue Magazine, and I published a very well received article around how companies that are employing business development or sales development representatives to generate opportunities for their sales team can not only be more effective in coaching and developing them, but providing a career path for those reps so they can help minimize the associated cost of very high attrition rates, employee turnover in that role. A lot of times people view it as a very short-term role to get experience. Companies don't necessarily have a career path for those people and don't always clearly communicate that. And I was writing and guiding companies about how to set proper expectations when recruiting and developing business development or sales development reps, but also understanding how they can be a valuable resource for talent and promotion if they're properly coached and trained. So I leveraged that article, promoted that, but also developed a associated marketing campaign for my work with Aslan Sales Training to share learnings I've had from working with people that need and face similar challenges and let them know how they can address that very common problem. And it kind of goes back to that value added approach where every interaction in itself, whether or not you get a meeting or a client out of the communication, they're learning something in that interaction. So your marketing in itself becomes valuable, not just purely promotional.
Awesome. What role does customer feedback or data play in shaping your marketing strategies?
Yeah, I think there would be hard data or more qualitative feedback. I think in an era now where buyers, potential customers are getting inundated with a lot of poor quality marketing communication from a wide range of sources, to cut through the clutter and be more effective in reaching other people, it's important to learn from your existing customers, people you're working with, and really document wins and best practices, what's worked well, and really use data and feedback from not only one lost sales opportunities, but also from marketing campaigns, what's getting good open rates, what's getting good feedback, response rates, and having metrics around that so you can do kind of A/B testing to see what works well, what's not effective, and adjust in real time. You can't wait till 3 months down the line of the campaign to make adjustments and measure effectiveness. It needs to be real time reporting on what's working well and to ensure you get the ROI, you're taking the proper steps to perhaps tweak your approach, tweak your target audience and your messaging accordingly in the middle of a campaign, as opposed to the old days where you're committing to marketing copy or a commercial that can't be changed, and if it's not going to work, it's not going to work, and it could be a real loss.
How do you approach storytelling into your brand communication?
I think because I'm someone who's in the area of sales training and coaching and has been in sales and still sell to this day, I sell and market my own business, providing examples of things that have worked well for you personally and using anecdotes that are relevant to them and proving that you understand their world and can bring it to life. And using storytelling to perhaps simplify complex concepts and break it down to more digestible insights, that gives them that kind of aha moment where they say, now I understand what you mean. Help me apply this to my world.
What metrics matter most to you when evaluating the success of a marketing initiative?
I think for me, more than anything, it's a combination of not just account-based marketing and growing existing accounts or getting repeat business, but really as a key metric, bringing new prospects, qualified prospects into the funnel. It may not be an immediate opportunity, may not always be an immediate fit to work together, but building that awareness for the future so that you can prove some credibility, understand there's a connection there, there's potential value. So when the timing is right, you're top of mind for them and they stay in your funnel over time. And also kind of quickly disqualifying bad fits. You're really not doing yourself or your customers any favors by pursuing opportunities that may be a poor match. So it's important to politely and constructively dequalify opportunities and not waste any time on the part of yourself or your customers or prospects.
What's the one piece of advice you will give to a company struggling to differentiate their brand in a crowded market? So you talked briefly about differentiation, but what would you make it unique? How would you make that unique?
Sure. I would say that it's important to be realistic, particularly with small companies, whether it be a founder-led company or an early stage startup. A lot of times companies will get excited about their value proposition, their new technology. They understand their differentiating points, but they often assume that it'll be very transparent and clear to customers. So going back to my initial point around receptivity, it doesn't really matter how good your technology is. You could actually have an inferior technology, inferior product, but if you have a more receptive audience, you can actually win business and be very successful. Where conversely, you can have the best technology in the world, the best solution, you can be very, very knowledgeable, but if you can't communicate value to customers and get them to understand and be open to speaking with you, it doesn't really matter because you never get the chance to deliver value. And ultimately, you lose out and the customer loses out as well. They may choose an inferior partner, product, solution to yours, and you lose the business, all because you can build that receptivity, build credibility, and earn that opportunity to deliver value. So it's important to understand that. Take a step back, understand the customer perspective, and don't go around just telling everyone how great you are. Lead with their needs, their interests, what's on their whiteboard. We say at Aslan. And then you'll get more meetings and more of an opportunity to see if you're a good fit for customers.
The next questions I like a lot because it makes you think. Obviously, you have a lot of wisdom, a lot of knowledge today. You have been in business or selling for over 25 years, you indicated. What advice would you give yourself when you started your first job? If you could go back in time and whisper to yourself, what advice would you give yourself?
I would say that as someone who started my career coming out of a liberal arts college, I was a political science major. I didn't really know what I wanted to do. So it was a very good economy in 1999. I'm dating myself when I graduated. I had a lot of opportunities with that background. I eventually went back to business school, got my MBA in marketing, and moved to Boston. I've been here ever since. But while I learned a lot in the advertising world, It was always it didn't pay very well. There was a lot of perks. It was exciting to be in New York City in media. And at the same time, there are probably other less glamorous industries that might have been a better fit long term. And I mentioned that today because I'm in sales. I work with companies across a wide range of industries, but a lot of young people in sales and marketing want to get into the hot internet or web-based solution or software company, high tech company, the latest startup. It seems exciting, and they go into it. They don't realize that a lot of those companies have very high failure rates. There's a lot of competition. It might not be what it always seems. So I would encourage people that are getting into sales and marketing to look at a wide range of industries. Nothing against tech. It's a lot of it could be very lucrative and exciting. There's a lot of exciting things going on in the tech space, but do your due diligence, ask questions, talk to other people in the industry, know what you're getting into, and don't always look for that shiny object. Think about other industries as well. There's a lot of opportunity and oftentimes less competition. Not everyone wants to get into certain, that could be manufacturing, it could be other areas, consumer packaged goods, things like that. It might not be that exciting dynamic on the surface, but there's a lot to learn. It can be a great career. So don't limit yourself to any one space and realize you don't always know what you don't know, and talk to as many people as possible.
Well, Michael, thank you very much for being part of IMS. I look forward to getting to know you better.
Absolutely. Thanks so much for the time and the chance to be here. It's been great. Have a great day.
Thanks
Bye-bye.
for listening to Insight Marketing Success, where marketing knowledge meets real-world experience from vision to execution.